The U.S. used to have a clear separation between its two main parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. Well, over the past decades, the Blue Donkeys represented liberalism, globalism, peace, and social welfare. The Red Elephants, on the other hand, have traditionally been conservative, pushing for nationalism, an aggressive foreign policy, and a free market. Somewhere along the way, however, those lines got blurred. Old-school Democrats have been against war, at least in principle.
I opposed the war in Iraq from the beginning. It was a flawed strategy that diverted attention and resources away from hunting down Osama bin Laden's terrorist network. And since then, too often, the president's Iraq policies have worsened America's security.
Today, they are the ones screaming the loudest when it comes to arming Israel and Ukraine.
We must have Ukrainian aid approved, and we must do it quickly. The simple truth is that their battle is our battle. If they lose, Americans lose.
Democrats used to call out the Republicans for their aggressive war policies, which included torture.
Should have had the option of everything up to and including waterboarding.
I think you ought to have all of those capabilities on the table.
So that's Dick Cheney. I mean, thank God the last administration didn't listen to him at the end.
Dick Cheney used to be the vice president and also the architect behind America's notorious invasions of Iraq and Afghanistan. He was criticized and even hated by the Democrats for those brutal wars, one of which had infamous pretenses. But all is forgiven now, it seems, as long as he says those magic words against Trump.
In our nation's 246-year history, there has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump. He tried to steal the last election using lies and violence to keep himself in power after the voters had rejected him. He is a coward. A real man wouldn't lie to his supporters. He lost his election, and he lost big. I know it, he knows it, and deep down, I think most Republicans know it.
His daughter Liz is a former Republican congresswoman who completely shares her father's ideology and has also made a U-turn to the point she's now campaigning for the Democrats. And the crowds don't see a problem.
Help us right the ship of our democracy so that history will say of us, when our time of testing came, we did our duty and we prevailed because we loved our country more. And now, it is my great honor to introduce you to our Vice President and the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
But there's a catch. Despite the diverse appeal of the Democrats to voters of all faiths and nationalities, it seems that once you have a Cheney on board, people get nervous, and security is extra vigilant when Arab Muslims are in the crowd.
I was actually sitting, answering some emails on my phone. I was not even engaged in any conversation with anyone. A lady came to me and said, "Can you follow me, please?" And when we went to the door, I found two police officers waiting for me there and threatening me if I don't leave, they will put me in the back of the police car.
Were you wearing perhaps something that was questionable?
No, and I can show you the suit that I was wearing yesterday. I didn't have any pens, any banners.
If you told anyone 20 years ago that hardline Republicans Dick and Liz Cheney would be on the side of the Democrats 2 decades later, you would be considered insane. It sounds almost as insane as a Kennedy supporting a Republican. Oh, wait.
And these are the principal causes that persuaded me to leave the Democratic Party and run as an independent, and now to throw my support to President Trump. The causes were free speech, the war in Ukraine, and the war on our children.
And to add insult to injury, Trump is getting rising support now from Black and Latino voters who used to be an absolute stronghold for the Democrats.
I'm Black, I'm gay, and I'm voting for Donald Trump on November 5th. And let me get started with this. There's no law that says because I'm Black or because I'm gay or because I happen to be both that I'm supposed to vote for Democrats for the rest of my life.
Meanwhile, Team Harris is now focusing on the average Joe, the hardworking white type.
I'm a 56-year-old gun-owning white guy. If Kamala Harris thinks I'll vote for her, she's right.
I'm a farmer, minister, and Republican from Pennsylvania. You might not think Kamala Harris is my candidate, but you know what? She is.
But with everyone switching teams, issues, policies, and voters from Democrats to Republicans and back, it's all ending up as one big elephant in the room. Or a donkey. It's hard to tell anymore.